Good morning, guys. Welcome to my office. Um, obviously, sorry, I've got animals in the house. Obviously, I'm out. I'm just a little bit sick, but given the current situation, it's better safe than sorry, so I'm waiting on testing. I'm going to try and go quick because I have limited time and so I don't clear my throat or cough too much. Obviously, for week 12, you guys would have noticed there is a difference in the reading. So I mentioned this before. Hopefully the instructions were simple and clear enough with yesterday's substitute that instead of you guys reading the book, I'm now condensing the book into an even smaller section. So this is cut down to the absolute core of the information you need to know. And I've shrunk it down from several pages to about 9 to 10 slides per lesson. So I pre-bullet it based on the lecture notes themselves. So you'll see I've kept titles, and these are the same as the textbook. So you guys should be easily able to figure out which areas you need to go for information. You'll know sometimes there's fewer bullets in the notes than there are on the slides, meaning that you don't need to take all the information. Just look for what you think is the best information. So this should make the whole process a little easier, a little less painful for you guys. As I said, I've cut out absolutely all of the extraneous information, so now it's just the core stuff. And this was not the intention, but it times in well with the no more homework policy with the new grading. So if you didn't finish 6.1 yesterday, that's fine. Finish it today. Work on 6.2. Try and get it done today because Wednesday and Thursday are meant to be your 2 days, 2 hours in class to do your essay, which is the bulk of what I want to talk about today. So, essay prompt number 2, comparing two works of art. Okay, I like doing this essay because it's just a little more lighthearted compared to, say, the last one we did about the Industrial Revolution. Please also note that at some point in the morning, after I record this, I will also be changing the point value from 100 for the essay to 50. I thought about doing it and decided not to, and then of course now that I'm not here to help, I'm going to go ahead and lower it so that it's a little less potentially damaging to grades if students are having trouble completing it. So, the prompt. You will find two different works of art from history to compare and discuss. These must be by different artists, but they can be the same genre movement of art. So you could do two romantics, you could do two realists, you could do Renaissance art, you can do, and keep in mind guys, these are visual arts, not writing. You could do medieval art, it's completely up to you, but it's got to be any painting done before 1900. So, here are the steps. Number 1, use the link I've given you under resources. It's right here, okay? It's got the 200 most famous paintings. Now, a couple of them are not going to work for you because a couple of them are going to be past 1900, but the vast majority will be before that. So just make sure you check dates if you see a painting you like. So read up on each painting. Ignore the part where it says it's your homework. You should be doing this in class today or definitely the first part of Wednesday. So read up on each painting in Wikipedia. I do highly suggest that you take notes. You do need to make citations for the body paragraphs, okay? And keep in mind the citation examples are explained down here, including a sample, and for the third paragraph. Now, one difference I did make here is I left in the preloaded footnotes here, because that was the biggest issue with the first essay is people just could not do the citations correctly. A lot of you had them, but you didn't do them correctly. So I preloaded them here. So, make sure you do the citations on the 3 body paragraphs. And yes, this is a full 5-paragraph essay. Okay, it's 5 paragraphs. I also want you to insert one picture of each of the paintings. These are what we're talking about. You can either use the insert command, which is over here, you go insert image, and then you can search the web, you can download it, however you're going to do it. Or you can simply copy and paste it. It's up to you. Shrink it to about 2 inches and just eyeball it using the ruler, which is this part right up here. So this is the ruler that gives you the rough inches. So 2 inches is from the 1 to the 3. And make sure that when you click on it, you set it to wrap text. So what that looks like, and I have an example here, ignore the writing, this is just a filler. So you click on the image, and it's going to give you 3 options here on the side. These, oh, this one has 5, excuse me, on mine. So make sure you choose the one that says wrap text, and this is what's going to make it look like this, which is very much how you do it in like a professional paper or a higher level college paper. Please make sure you read through and edit. There were a number of people who turned in their first essays with blue and red lines. If there are blue lines, it means there's an issue with the sentence structure. If there's red lines, it means you spelled something wrong. Make sure to let the computer help you with that. So 5 paragraph, 25 sentence essay. Now, I'm not pre-writing the sentences fully for you, but I am giving you a complete description of what your sentence should be. So sometimes it's the form of a question, sometimes I'm just telling you what your statement should be about. And I'm doing it again line by line. So these are still sentence frames, but they are less complex than the ones I gave you. The other ones, I wrote half the sentence here. I am simply telling you exactly what you should do. So this should give you focus. Now, as always, you can modify or make adjustments as you like, but this is my recommended most simple but correct. So it's simple, but it's also completely correct way to write this essay out. So I'm not going to go line by line because the recording system doesn't have enough space for that and it would make the video too long. Now, one big difference here, and please listen up real carefully, guys. Wikipedia itself cannot be cited as an academic source under normal circumstances. We've talked about this. But for this shorter essay, it will be allowed in order to give you a controlled environment to practice research using digital sources not provided by me. Because last time, I provided the sources. I wrote the link out for you. I provided it for you. This time, you guys need to find the page yourselves. I'm still giving you a complete example set in generic and a complete example set with an actual link. And this would be the actual one I used to get this picture with Battle of Alexandria at Issos. So, you're using Wikipedia this time because it's a more limited, controlled environment. I know that normally, and I've said this multiple times, you would not do this, but it's because this is your guys' first time doing research on your own. So I want you to practice with an easy online source. There's not much else for me to tell you other than please remember to indent your paragraphs, guys. They are pre-indented for you. And also remember to delete introduction, first painting, second painting. Delete those. Last time I had like one kid in every class that forgot to do that. So, the essay's pre-formatted here. It's right there for you. It's also got the dates and all that. Just make sure you change your name here. Make sure that you correctly keep the formatting. If you guys have questions, feel free. You can tell I'm doing great. Feel free to email me. I have both of my school emails turned on my phone. So I should, unless I've crashed on the couch with the dog, I should be able to respond relatively quickly during the working school hours today and tomorrow. Possibly I will be back on Thursday for the last day of the essay. That is the hope. It just depends on how fast the results come in. And also, last thing, please remember, grades are still due. I'm going to be doing prep. So I told you guys last week that I would be doing grading first and then spending Friday, when you guys have the day off, building up the next couple weeks of material. That's going to be the opposite because it's easier for me to do the material at home and it's easier for me to grade on my school setup. Your grades will not be updated until Friday. This does also mean, though, that your deadline is a little longer. So please listen carefully. Anything you want me to grade, make sure you get it to me, guys, by noon. Okay? Make sure you get it to me by noon on Friday. If you turn in week 12, listen real carefully, please. If you turn in week 12 before noon on Friday, I will consider that on time. So the deadline is no longer Thursday before midnight. It's now Friday before noon. It is now Friday before noon. Okay, and I will make that change in classroom as we go. So if you see a few numbers change, don't freak out. That's just me tinkering later on this morning. All right, guys. Good luck, and hopefully I will see you soon. If not this week, then hopefully I'm back next week. All right. Bye, guys.